That little short bite-sized track of pure mayhem was Odius with Mindless Fucking Evil from their latest EP, last EP. And
the profanity on that one, though.
Oh, yeah. And
It deserves that.
And in the titles.
and we are extremely lucky to be joined by Chalky
Thanks for having me.
from Odius and
Chalky,
Militaria.
sick mongrel. That was awesome, man.
Thank you, eh? Pleasure to be here.
Welcome. It's been close to a year, I think.
I'd say it's almost a year, yeah.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I was here about a year ago when we talked about Militaria. And
Indeed.
sure enough, today is the 1 year since I put that album out. So yeah.
Happy birthday, happy first birthday
Yeah.
of that amazing album,
Thank
Remains
you.
with Pain. If you haven't heard Remains with Pain, go check it out because it's absolutely bloody brilliant. But this is not the focal point necessarily
Yep.
of what we're here to talk about, is it?
That's it.
Odius are doing fantastic stuff.
Yeah, we're doing some crazy shit at the
You are
moment, yeah.
going places and you are kicking goals and all the other cliches.
Yep.
So last night, tell us where you were.
So we ventured off to Melbourne because we competed in this battle of bands for like the Wacken Battle of bands. Wacken, I don't know what it is. Is it Wacken? I'm pretty sure it's Wacken.
Fucking open air.
Yep. So we competed in Brisbane a couple months back. We were up against like Idle Ruin and Seraphic and stuff. And
Awesome.
it was such a stiff competition. It was a lot of good bands to play with, and we won. And we got the chance to play in the finals against all the other states around the country. And I think there was a band from New Zealand there too.
Yes, it was, they lumped poor New Zealand in with us, which
Yeah,
is those
and-
guys could have stood alone.
And so we were competing yesterday in the finals, and we're still yet to hear back if we've won or not, or who's won. But yeah, I think we played really, really well. I watched back the footage this morning, and
How many bands were you up against, man?
I think it was 10. I think it was
Okay.
including us 10. I think a band had to pull
healthy.
out because of COVID. So
Pretty healthy repertoire there.
yeah, and there was some bloody good bands on, and we also were blessed because we played the show. We did fantastic. I thought it was one of the best shows we've played, and we got this offer because our band manager Crispy was like talking to some mates, and apparently this gig around the corner was happening, and they needed like a open a band, and they asked, do you want to play this last minute set, just drop by and play a set and then fuck off. And we're like, yeah, all right, we'll just come in. So we literally just jumped in this maxi cab. There was like 10 of us squished in this maxi cab, and we just hightailed it around the corner and played at like 8 o'clock at night at a venue called Bad Decisions, and it was just like this tiny little dive pub, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. We just bashed another set.
Bit of hit and run in Melbourne, bro.
Yeah, and then
Nice one.
as soon as we finished, we just went back to the venue and stayed out till the rest of the night.
I guess you're already warmed up, yeah?
Yeah, I don't think we played as well because we put all our energy and soul into that first show, and we thought that was the only show we're playing, but to get a second show that night was just unbelievable.
That's
so.
fantastic. Shout out to Crispy, mate. Well bloody
Yeah,
done.
man, he's a legend.
Yeah, absolutely. So I saw you fly off to Melbourne yesterday, and I started thinking, oh shit, I hope he remembers he's in here tomorrow night.
Yeah, we landed in this morning, and I took a nap all day, and here I am.
Awesome.
So there's no word on how it's decided or when it'll be decided.
Yeah, like I was under the impression that we were going to find out at the end of the night, but as of now, I still haven't heard anything, and I'm hoping maybe this week they'll announce it. So maybe maybe they're just really trying to figure out who they want. It was a really, really tough competition, and there was a lot of good bands. So I'm sure they're just making sure they pick the right band. So
Yeah.
But regardless if we win or not, I felt like we did really well, and if we don't get through it this way, we'll just do it the hard way, and we'll just keep fighting tooth and nail to get to Wacken someday.
Threaten the right people.
That's it.
Oh, fantastic. So this was for the Australian slot to represent.
I think so, yeah. There's I think it's I've read it that it's like a international finals, but you're playing at Wacken, I guess, and it must be like a battle of bands, as all the countries, because I know there's other countries that do the same gig as well. So yeah, I think it's like a finals thing, but you're playing at Wacken, I suppose. Yeah. So
well, I mean, win, lose or draw. I mean, that sort of setup really is just a gift to the punters.
It is,
because I mean,
100%.
like you said, that was your. Yeah, as you said, it was the tightest and best you guys had ever played.
Yeah.
It's just everyone's bringing their A game. So, those are the shows to go and watch if you can't get to Wacken.
Yep.
So, I mean, I know you've got a lot of sort of extracurricular activities at the moment. You're doing, was it film and photography?
Yeah, I'm doing a film courses at the moment as well. And
so if if you win, which you bloody well should, if you end up going to Wacken, how's that going to impact things like for all you guys, like study, work, all that sort of thing?
I mean, work will be fine. I've got like long service sitting there ready to go, so I can easily get that off. But yeah, it's going to be different with study. I might be able to because hopefully I only have to go for a couple of weeks. Like, I mean, if you're going to Europe, you want to go for a while.
Well,
so,
yeah.
Problem is though, it's like towards it. I think Wacken's at the start of August, and I think that's towards the tail end of my trimester. So I might be able to get an exception, or like maybe if I do the work beforehand, or get it submitted after, or during while I'm there. Like if I just work on it, I should be able to get done. But I'm sure they're going to be okay if I'm like, I'm off to Germany to play, a metal festival. They'll be like, cool.
There's
Damn.
got to be a rock star clause in every course, surely.
Well, thankfully this is at SAE, and it's like a creative sort of campus. So that'd be completely understandable. Like, no question, go do it.
Yeah, well, exactly right. I mean,
maybe you'll get a grant
arts
with that too for later
maybe.
things. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Anyone with grants,
just film it and say
pay
it's my
attention.
project.
Well, that's it. I'll take a camera over and go nuts with it.
Great idea, absolutely.
Definitely make a video of it. So yeah.
Oh, fantastic! Well, I mean, from all of us here, we wish you the very bloody best of luck.
100%.
Thank you.
It's and I just hope that you find out sooner rather than later.
I hope so. Yeah, I was hoping today because I was hoping to announce the news on the show. But I'm sure we'll hear very soon.
So the track we just played, Mindless Fucking Evil, was off your last EP, Ignorance Paid in Violence, which has been out for 18 months, 2 years?
Yeah, it's probably about March last year I think we dropped it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So every time I revisit this EP, you're sort of thinking, oh shit, I really wish there was you made it a full length. So because every track is an absolute belter, and you're going, these guys are out there doing great things, they're writing brilliant music, they're playing really well. What's happening with Odius, in terms of in the future recordings and that sort of stuff, besides sort of playing live and touring, hopefully to Germany? What's in the pipeline for Odius?
So we are currently working on the album. I think we've only got 2 or 3 songs left to learn, because Luke's got a backlog of songs he's written. So when I joined the band, he was like, I've got 2 albums worth of material. Awesome. And I'm like, all right, there you go. It's awesome as hell, And he continues to just keep writing. He's a writing machine, And having Sam on guitar as well, he's got a whole bunch of riffs that he's got brewing as well, and I think he's got 1 or 2 songs lined up for the album as well. So we're just in the process of learning one song at a time, and me and Luke will just sit down and just go through every riff and just try and tighten them up, and we'll just slowly get through that riff and then go to another riff and just keep going backwards until I get it, and I just keep recording it and hear back to my progression over the weeks, and then I think I learned a song in probably 2 or 3 weeks, and then we just keep jamming it. We just because we've got a rehearsal shed in their backyard, because the 3 of them live together, and we have this shed that's made. It's a band's dream to just have this shed in the backyard, with the PA and everything, and soundproof, and we just go in there and just belt it for hours and learn all this stuff. So yeah, we've definitely got an album in the works. I'm hoping by the end of the year we'll have it we'll start recording it. So
wow, fantastic!
Because it's a long time coming, and we just want it to be the greatest debut we can make it, and just go hard. We're here to make something happen. So
absolutely, I guess it's the pitfall of having a really good EP, is that people are going, your album will want to be 2 or 3.
Yeah, we want to just step it up and everything, because we recorded that whole EP in the shed. Because me and Sam have got recording skills, so we put our skills together to make it happen, and there's definitely things we can improve on. We definitely want to record the drums in a proper studio next time, and then we should be able to do the rest within
some natural decay in the room and things like that, bro.
Just I think if you get a good sound on the drums, then everything else can sort of fall on top, really nicely. Drums is a huge thing. You want to get to sound really good, because it's like the room, it's it captures. If you got a really nice sound drum, then everything else can just sort of come over it like layers on a cake or something. So
you never want to hear the 2 words Saint Anger being dropped in reference.
Exactly. Good examples.
I can't even believe you just said that. You're risking a Boschkin, old chap. Just saying. Any ninjutsu practitioners?
You don't want those 2 words dropped on when people are reviewing your sound. Apart from this,
we're talking about real music here, son.
Yeah, no, like the sound of the drums is definitely important, but obviously the guitar, you want that like booming as well, and the vocals just crisp and loud. So I think we're going to do. Yeah, we're doing it in like a proper studio for the drums, and then we'll do the rest at home, and then we'll probably get someone to like properly mix and master it. So we'll go a little harder because we want the album to be fucking amazing. So
Luke's driving like like you said, he's got a couple of albums when you joined. A couple of albums written, and
he's definitely got a whole bunch of songs, and I think most of his songs are on this album. I think Sam's got a couple as well. So,
okay, I was about to ask. Like, I mean, do other guys chip in? Do you modify any of Luke's ideas on the way through?
Yeah, we'll take the song in, and we'll like take like little like we've got this one song that we're writing, we're working on at the moment called War Machine, and I think that's the working title, but it's we're like tossing ideas and like changing it up a little bit, not too much because we still like what Luke writes. Like some of the riffs he's got are just freaking amazing, but we just like like little tweaks here and there, and Sam has like little ideas here and there that he can do with the guitars, and that will go off and like work on the melodies and harmonies and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I just play the drums, like. But there's an exception sometimes. Like I dropped the first two riffs for the Mindless Fucking Evil that we just listened to. I wrote the first two riffs for that. I just came in and just went, I've got a couple of riffs, and they were going to be Militaria riffs, but I was like, nah, I'll give it to you guys. Like it's because I like we were just on the sitting there on the spot, and it's like, all right, who's got something? I'm like, all right, so I picked the guitar, played those two riffs just back to back, and I'm like, oh shit, and then Sam wrote the rest of it. So
oh wow,
awesome.
Cool,
yeah.
So
that's
we have little like
the sum of all parts is about, man.
Yeah, like
totally.
we have little things we do, but yeah, Luke's probably the main songwriter, I guess. Yeah, because it's his baby. So
Excellent.
Yeah.
So yeah, like while you're tracking drums and while you were constructing your first drum kit, bro, you went to a music store and bought an album or a CD or something with your own cash for the first time. What was that?
Oh wow. Oh man, that's a good question on the spot. I want to say it's probably a Green Day album.
No, that's fine. I worked with a chef in Tenerife today, and we heard half a dookie today whilst cooking, so I can understand that.
Yeah, because before I got into because Metallica was my bridge to get into metal, because after watching the Metallica 1 video on VHS when I was like 10, 12, I was like, oh my god, my mind's blown. But before that I was like punk, and like Green Day was my big one, and then American Idiot came out, and I think I was like, oh fuck this, they're going commercial. And then I went to another commercial metal band, and I didn't realise at the time because no one liked Metallica where I was going to school. So
right there.
but like because no one at school knew them, I was like, because everyone at school, like obviously Green Day had gone a bit more popular, and everyone at school was like, oh, check this out.
Band now.
And then and I was like, all right, I found Metallica, which are probably the most commercial metal band, but at the time when I was at high school, no one knew them, so I thought, okay, it's safe, but
it's a pathway, man.
That's it. It's a pathway, and they're still my favorite. I still love them, it's definitely opened up that whole world. But yeah, I want to say it's definitely one of those Green Day. I don't think it was American Idiot. It was probably like Nimrod or something, one of those.
Awesome.
And I still listen to Green Day once in a while, but
guilty pleasure.
Max Cavalera years ago, and he was talking about him and his brother Igor, and that was like Kiss and Queen were the first albums those two guys bought, and that's like Cavalera, Conspiracy, Sepultura, etc.
Yeah.
So, dude, that's not too bad.
No, that's it. There's always a gateway. You got to start somewhere. So
absolutely, yeah. Yep. So, obviously, Odius is busy, and you guys will be even busier in 12 days' time. Playing the King Parrot gig. Now, have you ever played? You guys ever played with King Parrot before?
We actually haven't. No, we were supposed to play with them last August, but for their 10th anniversary tour. But I pretty much had to axe it because of COVID. So yeah. No, it was a bit of a pain because I was really looking forward to it. I was like, it was like a dream to be able to support them because I've known them for years, and I just gone to so many of their shows and moshed in so many of their pits, and I was just like, I just want to play with these guys, man. Like I know half the band pretty well, and I just would love to finally do it. And here we are. We're playing with them at the Zoo, which is a bloody good venue too. So
and they have aircon now. We heard.
Oh, are you serious?
That's what we've been told. That's what we've been told.
It's one of those things.
Wow, there's a couple of gigs I can remember. Like I think it was Creative Vader was really bad, but Overkill was so bad there because I think Bobby Blitz came off stage and was throwing up, and I met him backstage, and he said that was the hottest gig I've ever played in my career. And I'm like, are you serious? Because it was drenched of sweat. It was the most excruciating heat I've ever felt.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. the zoo has aircon.
Yes.
Oh, thank Christ.
So
Really
we've been
cool
told.
stuff, and
So
everything
we've
else.
been told. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd hate for people to get there and go.
It got better. I think they took like the roof out or something, and they put like more fans in and opened the windows or something. Like there was a few more
yeah.
additions they did, but if it's aircon, I'm like, oh, thank Christ.
Totally.
Oh,
One little Fujitsu unit in the corner just struggling for breath. You know?
I remember like running over
Crying
to
in
the
the
water
corner.
and like picking up like cups of water to bring over to the mosh and like pour it over people because it was that hot. There was like the steam just coming off because everyone was like
you actually
dying.
see the steam.
Yeah. It was like,
God.
oh,
It's
crazy.
fucked up.
Yeah.
So, Odius, besides the King Parrot gig, what are the you guys got more gigs lined up? Or?
So we've got a really exciting gig coming up this Saturday. It's Luke from Odius and mine. We're doing our like 30th birthday bash.
and a happy 30th to both of you in
Thank
advance.
you. Well, yeah, Luke's already turned 30, and I turned 30 in like 2 months from now. So,
Well, okay.
yeah, we try to find like a middle ground to sort of meet the gig, and we didn't want to clash because I was thinking about doing it around my birthday in August, but Shredfest, I didn't want to. Didn't want to clash with that, and
cool.
yeah, so we're like, all right, June's looking pretty quiet. Let's do June. So
nice.
and we got a whole bunch of bands that we're all really, really good friends with and like played with over the years, and I've been associated with and that, and we just managed to
ladies and gentlemen, there's a culture out there. Get part of it, you know.
that's it. Like,
Get into it.
It's at the back room next Saturday. Yeah,
Chardons.
yeah. It starts about midday and goes till midnight. So
Fantastic. Who we got on the bill?
I'll go through the list quickly. We've got Blood of the Lannisters. I've been good mates with them for a while. Mike, me and him done some video shoot things together. He helped me film the Militaria music video that I did late last year, and that was awesome. We went out and did like a army shoot day thing. We had a bunch of friends like get dressed up and we just shot like guns in like this private property, and it was really fun. And yeah, he did an amazing job on that. He like did all the filming. I did like some of the directing, and he filmed me doing like all the playing in the shed and that too, because we filmed at the Odius shed. Me just playing all the bits, and we had Andy from Wartooth. Rest in peace. I'll miss that band.
Yeah, absolutely.
He came in and did like all these vocal bits. We did like 2 different shoots for that as well. I definitely wanted them on the bill. I was like, oh man, no brainer. Barrel House, we were pretty good mates with them. We've played with them a few times, and they're a bloody good band to watch. A lot of fun. Burlock is actually Luke's other band. So Luke's actually in a second band with Jamal. He's actually my old roommate from last year. When I came to Brisbane, I moved in, and he was like, oh, I need someone to move in. I was like, oh, there we go. So me and him hit it off really well, and yeah, so it was like a no-brainer to have them on as well, because like Luke's got to play two sets in one day, so I was like, fuck it, you know, like go all out, you know. Immaculable Treason, they're really good friends of ours too. We know Mickey G really well, and the brothers as well. So yeah, really good
speaking
band.
to Eric about a week ago, actually, down in Riffs and Licks in Newstead, Tenerife, the guitar shop there.
Yep.
Yeah, actually, it was pretty. I spent like $300K mentally
Wow.
in the back room there, just looking up at the racks, going, "Yeah, I don't have any of those." yeah.
Any of those?
No,
Yes.
they're really good dudes,
Yes.
and yeah, we played with them a bunch, and yeah, it's just no brainer to have them as well. Abysmal Fortress, they're actually a band from Gladstone.
Excellent.
And yeah, we
Central Queensland.
we saw them because we were playing with Hidden Intent late last year, doing like a Queensland tour. We all jumped in my 8-seater, and we, went up to Cairns and drove back, and it was the car was weighed down like crazy, but it was the funnest 4 shows like ever. Like we just played in like all these towns coming back along the coast, and Gladstone was the last stop, and I walked in, I was like, what's this band? It was like a 3-piece, and there was like this drummer screaming his head off and just like crazy like black and thrash stuff. I was like, this is awesome as hell, and I'm like, you guys have got to come down to play down in Brisbane, and we're just like, this is the perfect opportunity. So yeah, Abysmal Fortress, of course Odius we're playing. We wouldn't be right to not play our own birthday show, of course we're going to play.
It's probably a good idea,
We've got Otteruin. They're
Excellent.
like absolutely fantastic. I
100%
fucking love them.
Yeah.
They're probably my favourite Brisbane band at the moment. I want to even say maybe Australian band, up there with Hidden Intent and Mason and King Parrot for my favourites. But they're absolutely amazing. I love them. We're like brothers. We've worked on heaps of stuff together. And
You fucking drummers
Lovely
should
bloke,
stick together.
yeah, that's it. Like the 2-headed drummers of Brisbane. We can't be separated. But it's just I had to have them on because and I definitely wanted to make sure they're on after Odius because I want to start moshing as soon as Odius is done. I just want to go fucking hard. So gotta go hard for them because I absolutely love them and I can't wait for their new album because I know it's gonna be fucking amazing.
It's gonna be brilliant. Yeah.
Canine Insertion. So this one's a funny one. No one knew what was going on, but it's actually a cover band and it's Hidden Intent. They're playing a bunch of covers. So
excellent.
I wanted Hidden Intent to come and play. But they were like, okay, well, we're playing Shredfest, but we still want to play the show.
Yeah.
So is there any chance we could come up and do covers and we'll just do it under a silly band name? And Canine Searching is another word, I guess, for get a dog up.
Get a dog up, yeah.
So, he's like, all right, do a Slayer font and we'll make it happen. So, I was like, man, that's so awesome. And apparently I might be jumping up for one song to play drums. So,
there we go. Nice.
It's a lot of fun. That should be a really good set. And I absolutely love those boys. I work with them. I do their Patreon and all that, the videos and stuff, and some of their the posters and all that thing. So I've worked with them for years, and I love Chris and the boys. So always a pleasure. Riva, so
yes, yep.
They're a New South Wales band from Sydney, and they're like a thrashy sort of groovy band. They're a bunch of young fellas, and they're fucking really cool. Mm-hmm. I've seen them a few times. I've seen them at Steel Assassins and stuff, and they've just never been to Queensland. I thought, we had a bunch of other bands that we had on the bill, but then they all just dropped out, and I was like, fuck, who else? And I was like, Riva, are they still going? And of course they are. Of course they're still going. So I just hit up the drummer, and because little secret revealed, but he's actually doing vocals on the new Militaria album, but we'll talk about that later.
Cool, yeah.
But so I was talking, I was like, well, so would Ruva like to play the birthday? And he's like, fucking hell, we would, so we got them. We got Shatterbrain from South Australia. They're fucking amazing. I played with them last year with Idle Ruin. They came up and played 2 shows on the weekend, and I drove them around, and just had an absolute ball with them. And we were just like, we need to do another weekend like this again. And I thought with Idle Ruin and us on the bill, I was like, fuck, no brainer, come back, man. It's been a while, and I'm sure they're definitely gonna turn things up because they're such a moshy band. I fucking will go so hard for them because I love them and they're such a good band. I've also done a lyric video for them too, so done quite a bit with them. And we've got Bastardizer, amazing Bastardizer.
Nice,
they're very well received. Everyone loves them, and I've seen them a couple of times, and they definitely play a really good show. And I know George, the drummer, really well, and the bass player as well. They're from Livewire, so just get along really well with them, and they're just fucking amazing band.
Mate,
so
what a fantastic lineup.
And to finish it off, we've got Darren as well, so they're kind of closed the night out with some cool stuff because they've got such a cool mix of stuff. They've got this bluesy song.
Happy birthday, Cam.
So it's like
another
just
30th.
Totally. True, right? I think there's another birthday. It's all these birthdays happening around that date. So I think there's even a good mate of mine, Matt. He's having his 36th birthday. So he's like, oh, I'll make my own event and call it my birthday. Birthday drinks. And it's like, it's our birthday. Everyone's tug of war over this event. It's like, it's everyone's birthday. Fuck it. So come celebrate everyone's birthday. Doesn't matter who it is. So.
Mate, that's an absolutely chock-filled lineup.
Yeah, we're stoked with it. Yeah.
Now, look, we could chat all night, but I really want to ask you what you're doing with Militaria.
So to quickly sum it up, since I put the album out, I as I said, from the last interview, it's like I've been working on a second and third album in the background. So when the first album was out, it was like, all right, let's get straight into the second album, and probably for I want to say, I guess it's been a year now. I've just been refining it and getting some of the I took a whole bunch of, I wouldn't say 50% of it is the old material that I still had in the background, and then 50% is all new. I think I even wrote a song when I was in COVID isolation. I had a song that I finished a few months back that I just wrote all the time. That was because I was stuck in COVID for isolation for 2 weeks because my missus got it and then I got it, and so we ended up being there for 2 weeks, and I wrote a song that whole time. And I want to say as of now I've just finished writing the last song, so the second album is complete, and I'm halfway through demoing it at the moment and getting the guests organised on who's doing what. And this time I'm going to spend a bit more time demoing it and preparing it with the vocalists and the soloists to say, hey, let's work on that and do this, and try and do it a little differently than the first album, because the first album I just gave them the song and invited them in, and then we just did it in one take. But with the demo I'll be able to sit down and really analyse it and go, all right, I don't want this to change, and I want to do this, and I could think of gang vocals and all this other cool stuff. So but the album is very visceral. It's pretty much the first album, but it's everything's up 11. Like, it's crazy. Like, my drumming's obviously way more crazier than when I recorded it way back like 6-7 years ago. The riffs are way more harder and faster. Every song's way more faster. It's like I try to take like Demolition Hammer and like all those really like early death metal bands like Malevolent Creation and stuff like that, and just tried to like go as hard as fast as I could with that. And I want to get that production, like that really old school like Scotty Burns sound, and I want to sit down and like dial the guitars and make it really just heavy as fuck, you know, like.
Wow. So I can't wait. That last album was a real treat.
Thanks, man.
Not just musically, but it was a real who's who of the Brisbane metal scene.
Yeah.
So looking forward to
But now I'm just going to spread out a little bit for the country, I think, this time. So definitely going to dip my pockets into like Melbourne and all that. So
absolutely. Look, Chalky, it's been an absolute honour and a privilege to have you in the studio with us tonight, mate. Now we're going to jump into the opening track of Ignorance Paid in Violence, which is RTSMK. What, care to say anything about this track before we launch it?
It's the first song we put out from the EP, and made like a little lyric video for it as well, so you can check that out on YouTube and all that. And it's definitely a pretty good song. Like, definitely like the bridge part. It's a pretty cool riff there. So yeah, but everyone really loves the song. We don't play it as live as much as we should anymore. We probably should bring it back, but love this track.
Fantastic. Well, everyone, you can check them out at the Back Room next Saturday or at King Parrot the Friday after. Thanks so much, Chalky. This is Odius with RTSMK.
Thanks, no worries.
Crank this one up.
Fuck yeah.